Hi, I'm Elise. I'm the head car seat tech here at Taxi Baby, and RideSafer has just launched their Generation 5 of their Delighted Travel Vest. So I'm going to open it up, show you what comes inside, show you the differences with the new Gen 5 model, give you a bit of a view on how to use it, and answer some frequently asked questions. So the vest now comes in this very cool mesh bag. We're working with the factory to reduce the amount of plastic. It now has a neck cushion that's included with every single vest that you buy from us, and the vest itself has some other significant changes as well. It has a new clasp, which is still energy deforming, so it still provides that energy management that the original clasp did. It's just the Generation 4 clasp was childproof and adult-proof in many cases. Another difference is the belt guides on the lap belt, I think they've got them on the shoulder belt too, are now embroidered on. So previously it was sort of spray painted on and some of the paint would scratch off after a while. We have different Velcro now. It's kind of much softer, so in case you've accidentally folded it over and it's sort of touching your child's skin, they're not going to be agitated as much. And the shoulder straps now have a lot more padding. And it's also even lighter, if you can imagine. I think we might weigh it and let you know how much it weighs. And of course, most obviously, it comes in this amazing blue colour now. So you also still have black, grey and yellow, but you also have the blue. The Tether hooks are now they're reinforced webbing instead of the metal hooks, so they can be a little bit more comfortable for you as well. The side pieces here now have elastic in an attempt to give a more comfortable and secure fit without the vest riding up too much. And on the back now we have the attachment that is available for when RideSafer launches their airline attachment strap. So that will be very cool when that's available. And you also have a different way of attaching the neck cushion. So it used to be that the neck cushion, you would have Velcro and you would open the Velcro and just stick the neck cushion in place. Now you'll notice there's no Velcro, but there is a little pocket here. So now the neck cushion just slides in, just wedges in like that as an alternative mode. What else have we got in the bag? We have got the manual. As soon as you get the manual, you must read it cover to cover, and then you're going to open up your vest, and there is actually a little pocket here under the labeling, and that's where you're going to store the manual, which goes in much smoother after you take it out of the plastic, and you need to take it out of the plastic and read it. We also have in the bag the tether strap and the crotch strap. The crotch strap is a Y strap, and what it does is it attaches onto these two loops on the back of the vest, like this. That, and then if you bring it around to the front, we have another loop on the front that it will attach through to. The point of this crotch strap, it's got a couple of different functions. If you've got a super wriggly child who is getting out of position and perhaps the RideSafer vest is sliding up, or perhaps they're slumping too much, then it can help keep the vest in the optimal position and therefore the seatbelt in the optimal position in the event of an accident. And the other thing it does is if you do have a bit of a slumpy child, in an accident, some children in booster seats it's called submarining, where the children slide out the bottom of the booster seat or the vest, so it will mitigate against that as well. Submarining is incredibly uncommon in the RideSafer vest because the child is sitting on the vehicle upholstery itself. So the primary function of the crotch strap is to keep wriggly slumpy children in an optimal position. Okay. The tether strap actually just looks like a really big version of the crotch buckle, of the crotch strap. And the way that it works is you hook it onto, I'm going to take the neck cushion off for now. You hook it onto the tether hooks on the RideSafer vest, and then this lone hook out the back here actually attaches onto the tether anchor in the vehicle, depending where your tether anchor is. Okay. So you might, if it's on the back dash or down behind the seat, and this has again a couple of functions. Initially it was designed so that you could use the RideSafer vest if your vehicle didn't have a normal 3-point seat belt. If your vehicle only had a lap belt, but they did have a tether point up the top, then you'd be able to use the tether and still have a safe child restraint in that seating position. In Asia, however, we don't see lap-only seating positions that also have a top tether anchor. So that usage is very uncommon in Asia. More commonly, what we use it for is if you have a wriggly child or a sleepy child who needs a bit of extra support so that the vest and the seatbelt can stay in the optimal position for them. And that will kind of help limit how much they're able to move around in the vest. So we've got Maisie here who's going to help me do a demonstration. So we're going to open up the vest. Put the vest on Maisie. One of the great things about the RideSafer vest is that your child can be wearing the vest. This is if you're hopping in a taxi, your child can be wearing the vest before the taxi arrives. Now to do this up, I'm going to loosen the buckle, simply hook it in, and then tighten it again. The belly part of the RideSafer vest does not need to be tight. In fact, the tighter that it is, or the snugger it is, when your child sits down and their wee little tummy pokes out, it's going to get even tighter, and the vest will have a tendency to ride up if it's too tight. So you do actually want it to be nice and roomy. So Maisie's going to sit down for me. Okay. Now when children sit in the RideSafer vest, most of the time the lap part, or what we call the lower lap flap, is going to be sitting vertically. So it looks like the vest is just a single vertical unit. You need to actively pull the vest down so that this lower lap flap is sitting flat on the legs. If you find that the flap folds up, or if you find that your child slumps and the vest is sliding up, then there are two things you can do. The first thing is you can use the crotch strap, alright, which will help keep the lower flap down. And another thing that you can do is you can pull the Velcro apart, spread these two parts of the lap flap so that instead of being completely over each other, they're more like this. And that can help keep the belt and the flap down in that position. If it does fold up, it's not the end of the world, because there's a lot of extra padding on this part of the vest that's designed to protect from that. So to use the RideSafer, we've got the position correct. Now I'm just going to buckle the seatbelt, an adult seatbelt. It's just a wee bit twisted there. Now the lap part of the seatbelt is going to go through these lap belt guides. And then the shoulder part of the seatbelt is going to go through the metal guides up on one of the shoulders. So you need to use both of the lap belt guides, but because my seatbelt is coming from the right hand side, I'm only going to use the shoulder belt guide on the right hand side. If my seatbelt was coming from the left, I would use the shoulder belt guide on the left hand side. So the seatbelt's correctly positioned. Now I'm going to make it a bit tighter. Okay. Now you can slide these shoulder belt guides up and down so that you've got the seatbelt in the right position. What you're aiming for is you want the seatbelt to be positioned in the middle of the shoulder, not too close to the neck because that's uncomfortable, and definitely not over the shoulder onto the arm because that would be unsafe. If the seatbelt buckles a little bit like this, which can happen quite commonly in certain vehicles, that's not to worry, that's completely normal. If there's a gap between the top of your child's shoulder and the top of the vest, that's also not to worry, that's completely safe, and that does happen, especially if your child carries their height in their legs. and less so in their torso. The primary purpose of the RideSafer vest is to position the seatbelt on the strongest parts of a child's body. So that's their upper thigh bones, not their hips and not their soft unprotected abdomen, and also to provide upper body restraint. So we'd like the seatbelt to be sitting properly on the shoulder. The worst thing that could happen is if the child puts the seatbelt under their arm or behind their back, because that's when the situation becomes very dangerous. If you find that the shoulder part of the seatbelt is riding up, you can take the unused portion of the vest, so the side on the opposite side from your seatbelt, and you can slide the belt guide down until it's just kind of helping to push down on the shoulder part of the seatbelt. We're not going to actually put it through the guide, but we're just going to kind of push it down like that. If you're in an accident and you need to take the child out of the car quite quickly, the RideSafer belt guides are designed in such a way that you can unbuckle the seatbelt and then you can rip the seatbelt out, and these belt guides will pop open. Okay? But if you're just doing it under normal circumstances, all you need to do is pinch the belt and then pull it out of the belt guide. Pinch and pull. Pinch and pull. Okay. Easy peasy. The RideSafer vest is designed for children aged 3+. The small size fits most children from about 3 to 6, and if your child has outgrown the small size, then there is a large size that's available for them. Children don't outgrow the RideSafer vest by weight or age or even total height. The way that you can tell if the RideSafer vest is outgrown is if this lower part of the lap flap can no longer sit flat on the legs, and if it's sliding up onto the hips or the abdomen. The vest is adjustable at the back so that you can make these straps longer if you need to. The RideSafer vest is a US certified child restraint, which means it meets or exceeds all of the standards laid out in the US crash test standard FMVSS 213. RideSafer is working on a European certification, and they're also working on FAA exemption, so that you will be able to use the RideSafer vest on an aeroplane with RideSafer's airline attachment strap. The RideSafer vest is designed for children aged 3+. If your child is under 3, please contact us to have a discussion about the safest ways to travel with your children. We would love for children who are under 3 to be buckled up in a harnessed car seat, ideally rear facing, if not forward facing. The reason that children should really be aged 3+ before they move into a RideSafer vest, even if your child is quite big, is around musculoskeletal maturity. So a child's age is the best determining indicator of their musculoskeletal strength, much better indicator than height or weight. So a 2-year-old's body is only 2 years old, and a 3-year-old's body is only 3 years old, regardless of the size of that body. And as a child grows and gets older, their skeleton moves from the juvenile skeleton form into the adult skeleton form. And juvenile skeletons are much more fragile than adult skeletons, and they need extra protection. So the RideSafer vest provides fantastic protection, but we would like to be able to provide more protection to children who are under 3, so please contact us. If you have any questions about whether RideSafer is the best product for you, or whether there might be something else a little bit more suitable, please contact us at info@taxibaby.com.